So illegal street art works tend to be more like bold and more straightforward, and legal street art works are usually more like illustrative, and of course there are like different examples, but this is like usually the case.
Oh, it's very interesting what you just said, because what I heard at least from you is like illegal street art gives more freedom for street artists. So which probably gives me to my next question. What do you mean under we need to like get permission for street art? How it works actually? Who can give you permission to do your paintings?
Mm-hmm. For example, when I'm organizing the festival, all the artworks done during the festival are officially approved by basically the wall owner usually has a say, whether if it's a city council or it's a private owned wall.
Okay, but this permission includes like some topic limitations. That's what you mean, or how it works?
Depends on the city, depends on the country. How we do it in Tartu is that we, like the wall owners, like donate the walls to the festival to use as a canvas, but they can't control the content.
And I found very interesting stuff on your website. You have a manifesto, and I guess like a public agreement for all participants of the festival. They need like to be agree with this or not. So your manifesto says that it's like probably a question for street artists. You ask them to act, to paint according to their common sense, like not by law. But like it brings me to my next question. What if like some common sense will go against the law? How it works?
It's the manifesto is on the festival's website, but it's not actually the festival's manifesto, but the manifesto for like independent or illegal street art. It depends. It means the same, but you can use like different words. Basically, the idea of the manifesto is that if you decide to break the rules or break the law, then you have to have a good reason for it. So basically, it's like make your artwork look nice, choose the location wisely. The goal is to make the environment look nicer, and yeah, basically that's the idea of the manifesto. I think Keith Haring is also a really good example of like doing illegal street art, but not destroying the environment, but making it more interesting, more beautiful, and also choosing the location really well. So for me, it's really important that artworks are born on the spot. So how can you create site-specific artworks when you are from abroad and you haven't even visited the city, which is usually the case with a lot of street art festivals. So as we don't ask for any sketches, then even I, as a head of the festival, will see the artworks for the first time when they're ready, like in the last day of the festival.
Oh, it could be tricky, I guess, a little bit, but eventually when you find out what happened, what the final result is.
Yeah, we need to choose the artist we trust.
So yeah, I know you like evaluate them by their portfolio, what they did before. So okay, can you like maybe name from like what countries street artists participate in your festival?
Like the general, when we started, it was like 15 years ago. It was a get-together event for Estonian street artists. But then, now, 15 years later, it's a get-together event for Estonian, Finland, Lithuanian, Latvian street artists. So, like, this region is always, like, represented. But additionally, to these countries, we like invite artists basically all over the world, all over Europe.
What do you think? Like, what the cause of why people know less about PrEP and all other like stuff related to HIV in Estonia? And it's a typical problem for Estonian or like every country.
Knowing about PrEP is very important topic for us because we are spreading information about that, but people still don't know about a lot on that. For example, if you want to, what's PrEP is, right? The PrEP is a modern prophylaxis for HIV. For example, if you are planning to have sexual intercourse with somebody, so you can take PrEP before 2 hours and have sex, and the next 2 days you also taking pills. In that aspect, these pills can protect from HIV infection. This is what PrEP is. The second, why people don't know, or they know, they still don't believe in that, because they think that the condom is the more better protection against HIV infection, but also already proved that PrEP is very good in the levels of protection. Also, what was the question?
Yeah, but is it common thing in not only in Estonia for not knowing about PrEP and all this stuff? Right?
I don't know about the other countries because I don't work, but when I'm traveling, what I notice that people in Spain, for example, if we're talking about LGBT society, most the young generation, they most probably know about what PrEP is.
Also compared to Estonia, like most
Yeah.
Okay, but actually it brings me to another question, which is, what, in your experience, do you feel that people living here in Estonia, they face some obvious or not obvious discrimination about like being HIV positive?
Since 2000, the situation changed. For example, in 2000, it was the highest rate of when the doctors revealed HIV status for the people. It was almost 1.5 thousand people for that year. And since that time, the discrimination and stigma, of course, changed, but it's became more hidden or not obvious, for example, right? So people still get the doctors, they're becoming more professional, so they, but they know better, and the attitudes change toward the patient in that case. If the person get the treatment for HIV, so you shouldn't scare you should be worried like you don't take, for example, right? Because if the person taking the pills, so he can live long, happy life, and he will die from the other cause, not from the AIDS. So of course it's better when the person knows his status and starts treatment, and it's obviously to all kind of disease, not only for HIV.
Well, first of all, he died of HIV. I didn't know that. But also the way he made his art accessible through painting on the different stations in the metro. That was something I didn't know, and it was brilliant. It's such hard work, but also like such a direct and simple way to reach people. And it made me think about Instagram and Facebook and all the social media, how it makes everything easy, but like there's less contact with it. When you see something in real life, it just feels more real. When you see the artist, literally, people could see him doing his art, and I hope that we can have more of that now.
I actually didn't know anything about the relationship between Keith Haring and his parents or the beginning of his career. So that was really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he dared, at least, because in the context in New York was that there was a lot of space and a lot of need for some artistic experience. So he dared to do that. A little bit I have this race frame on it, maybe like he was around by many people of color and why these other people of color didn't have the same success, but he was also very talented. But just one question that I have, or critique about the situation, but it was very good. I have seen his works, but I didn't know it was him, so it was very informative.
I did not know that he was so involved in activism. Actually, of course I had heard already that he died of AIDS and of course was involved in different movements, but somehow I was surprised that he was so in his drawings and all the art, because I remembered him. I was born in '84, so I remember his work as a child, because it was a big scene already in the late '80s. But it was always these funny figures, and so not this political topic. Yeah.
I learned that you can get HIV through needles, which I didn't know before. I thought you could only get it from sex. So that was pretty interesting.
I just generally learned about his life. I knew I've seen the drawings in very random places probably, but I never knew the artist or his life. So I'm really glad I can watch the movie.